everyone, it is an honor to me to be here with you. So let me introduce myself. My name is Manalu. I am from K1 2023, majoring in English and Education. So I hope all of you guys in a good condition and in a good health. And first of all, I would like to say thank you for your attention and for your time for me, because I would like to explain, I would like to discuss about some journal. It's entitled Improving Student Speaking Skill by Conducting Small Group Discussion in Grade 8 SMPN 14 Bintan. So the research of this journal is Diah Khotimah, Elsa Ernawati Nainggolan, and Muhammad Candra. And this journal is published at September 2020, volume 3, number 2, 78 until 83. So, what is the aim of this journal? So, the aim of this study is to describe how the small group discussions is going to improve student speaking skills in grade 8 SMPN 14 Bintan. So study is use CAR or which is classroom action research method. So the population of this study is class C grade 8 SMPN 14 Bintan, which they're consisting 28 students, and this data was collected by speaking tests. I think I'm going to talk about English. All we agreed that English is the important thing that we need to learn in this world, because maybe we can say that English is going to be the second language that we are going to use after our mother language. And I think in this new era, in the era of globalization, many people or we can say many parents that want their child going to know about English, can speak in English, even when the newborn going to even the parents going to give a lesson to their newborn, they're going to speak in English because of what? Because they want their child is going to master English. And talking about English, there are 4 aspects that we all know in English. There are speaking, writing, listening, and then reading. I think from 4 aspects that speaking is the most important thing that we need to master. Why? Because communication with someone, to know each other to someone, we need to speak to them. And how can we speak to them? For example, we want to speak to the foreign. Of course, we're going to speak in the second language, which is it's English. And if we want to know each other, we want to close with someone, we need to understand what they are talking about. So we need to master speaking, especially speaking in English. So we're going to back to the study. During the learning process, students said that the speaking is the most challenging skill to master. Why? Because there's a 4 aspect that they need to master, which are a vocabulary mastery, fluency, comprehension, and the last is pronunciation. I think I agree with that student said before, because if we want to speak well to someone, we need to learn the grammar, we need to know a lot of vocabulary, we need to fluent at speaking English, and we need to learn a good pronunciation, so someone that speaks to us can understand what we are talking about. This study said that some factors that may be cause of these problems is such as there's no motivation to learn speaking English, and there's no interest, and then there's no intelligence, and the less of learning material. I think I'm also agree with this study set with this student said, because teacher especially in Indonesia is use a less material to give a lesson to teaching their student, because they're just focused to some a method or strategy that they are always used to do. They don't want to improve their method or their strategy, and they just focus to that strategy. And then the study said that the most problem maybe is the teacher strategy to teaching. Why the teacher strategy? Like I said before, the teacher is not improve their strategy. They just use that strategy day by day and semester to semester, and they don't even care about what if the student is bored, what if the student is not, there's no motivation, even what if the student is not going to understand what are they use or what the method are they do. And the next is, this study is some reason, like the first, the student bored and not active during class during class because the same teaching, because the same technique, like what I said before. For some teenager, they just think and they just focus to something that make them feel fun, that not make them feel bored, and they are going to like that because teenager is just focused and they just think that something to make them feel happy. And the second is the teacher is too dominant in the classroom, or the teacher is too centered. I think I agree with that statement because like when I in elementary school, even in the junior high school, a lot of people is just using the same method, and the teacher is too dominant in class. The teacher do not let the students speak. They don't let the student say what they thinking. Didn't let the students say what they want to talk, and that make the classroom is just feel blank, and even the student is don't know what going to do in the class. And the last is students still no experience to learn speaking in the pronouns, understanding, and student vocabulary abilities. Like what I said before, we need to have an experience about learning speaking, especially for the pronunciation and the understanding about this English learning and the vocabulary abilities. So this study is using some solution that they think it's going to be good, which is it's called small group discussion. So small group discussion become a technique that the research do for the solution to learning speaking for the student, so they could use English and practice each other with their friend. And they say that small group discussion can effectively improve student speaking skill, and there's some benefit that they got from the small group discussion, which is they're going to giving some freedom, and then they're giving the student freedom to express what they want to say, and then making them feel like more relaxed to learning and exploring themselves, and providing them to improve their speaking skills. So CAR, or Classroom Action Research, designed by Kamit and Mitager in 1919, are planning, action, observation, and the last is reflecting. So we're going to talk about it one by one. From the first is planning. What is planning? So the research is going to make some plan. The research going to design some lesson practice, like for example going to make some experience of congratulation, and then going to make some and prepare some practicing or the speaking task for the children or for the student. And then what is the acting? the acting is when the research is come to the student, and maybe the student think that the research is the new teacher, and they're going to be noisy but still conducive, and they're going to enthusiasm because they're looking for someone new come to their class. And then the research going to open the class, greeting the class, and then take some attendance by the student, and going to approach and know each student in this class. And they're going to give some a briefing about the SGD, which is it's a small group discussion, and they're going ask the student to do some like a small dialogue to each other, and they're going to do it in front of the class, and the research going to give them feedback to the student. And then the third is observe. In this section, the research is going to observe every action, every behavior, every comment from that student. And there were 4 aspects that the research observed, which is the first is the student activities and their participation during the class. And then the second is what is the student use and what is the student language in the class. And the third is a lot of students still didn't get how the best way to learn speak English well. And then the last is the student that not active in the class, and the worst is the student is noisy during the class. There's some reflecting. What is the reflecting? So the research going to looking at that the small group discussion, and they found that the learning and they found that the teacher learning is processed very well because student speaking was improved. And then the second is they had a better vocabulary mastery by doing exercising and from the dialogue, and they become more confident for speaking in English. So what is the result of this study? So this study is used 2 cycle. For the cycle 1, they got 53.57%, which is 15 students that get score more than 69. And for the cycle 2, they got more high. They found that 82.14%, or we can say 28 students get score more than 69. After this result, we all find out that small group discussion is a good strategy they use to improve the student speaking skill. So I think the conclusion of this study is small group discussion is really a good solution. It's active and it's effective method that we need to use to improve our speaking skill, especially for the student, because I think we all agree that maybe if we speaking English to our closest one or our friend, maybe it's going to be okay, maybe we don't feel like any kind of problem. But what if we talk in English in front of the people, a lot of people? We talk about our mind, we talk about what in our mind, and we talk about any strategy, or we talk about any motivation, or maybe we talk about any fact. Maybe we gonna feel like anxiety going through all of our body, and maybe before we're going to give some prepared for this speaking, but after we look, a lot of people look at us, we're going to feel anxiety, and we just don't know what we're going to do. We're going to feel blank, and we don't know what we are going to talking, and then that's going to be a nightmare in our lives. So maybe like the small strategy that we're going to use is make some small group discussion like this study said, because maybe we need to practice our speaking in a small action, like talk to in front of the class through any make some we're going to talk to in front of the class through some dialogue, and then we talk in a presentation in a class, and then after that we can going to level up. We can say any kind of suggestion or advice in front of the people, maybe in an event or something more than big. So I think that's all from me. Thank you for always be with me until the end. I would like to say I'm apologize if there's some kind of word that come out of my mouth and make you feel not comfortable. So I'm going to apologize for that. I think this is the end of discussion. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.